So we got our first face-off between Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev. And it's actually crazy. They're similar height. Let me get it up for you guys here, as you can see.
Yeah, Jack, face this way too, both of you guys. Right here.
They're basically the same height. Islam is probably, I would say, an inch shorter than Jack Della Maddalena. Obviously, they both got shoes on, so we'll see on actual fight night. But still, it's probably about an inch or two between the two of them, height-wise. Because I know some of you guys are just, your thoughts are just so. Yeah, we're talking about height. We're not talking about. Yeah, because I know some MMA fans can be a bit, But anyways, we're a couple of days away. If you haven't already, go and watch my prediction and breakdown, which is out now for UFC 322, the main card. But yeah, we are a couple days away, and obviously Islam Makhachev had some interesting things to say about his upcoming matchup with JDM.
This is one of the maybe hardest fight for me because he's big, he's good everywhere. Maybe he don't have good wrestling defense, but his grappling is good. He defends, he get up from the grappling very, very well. That's why I'm prepared myself for anything. I can strike with him, I can wrestling with him, grappling with him, but I know he also training hard for me because his last opponent, Bilal, we have not same style, but Bilal also tried to wrestling, but he defends his wrestling very well. That's why I have to be ready. If he stop my wrestling, I'm gonna try again. If not happen, I will strike with him. This is the.
One thing I have to say about Islam, yeah, I'm more of a fan of Islam than Khabib. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't really like Khabib, if I'm completely honest. But what I like about Islam, he's quite honest and real when he talks like this, and I wouldn't put him in the same league as Bilal, but I get what he means in terms of stylistically, him and Bilal are quite similar because they're going to strike and wrestle, but in a way that prepared Jack Della Maddalena for Islam Makhachev, but Makhachev striking and wrestling is just on a whole nother level compared to Bilal. And people need to remember Bilal actually upped and improved his game once he trained with Khabib and Islam. I don't know if he still does, but he has in the past. And that's when he really started to level up. So, hats off to Islam for saying for giving credit to Jack Della Maddalena and for, saying if the wrestling doesn't work, he's going to strike. But I think in this fight for Islam, personally, I think Islam should just continue to mix it up in this matchup. Obviously, I want Jack Della Maddalena to win, but I'm not going to sit here and be biased and not give a balanced opinion. But I genuinely think Islam's best path to victory is mixing it up. Even if Jack is able to stuff the takedowns, he needs to continue with the takedowns into the later rounds, because that's when I really think it could pay. What's the words I'm looking for? I've got the word in my head, but it's in an American accent. So I'm not going to say that word right now because I know if I say it, it's going to come out in an American accent, and I don't want to say it in an American accent. So, yeah, I've got another way of saying it. Sometimes the brain is not as sharp as you want it to be, but I think that's when the takedowns will pay off. Or if he can keep shooting the takedowns and potentially get JDM guessing for the takedowns, then it will allow for his striking to open up. But I think the longer and the more it stays on the feet, I think that favors Jack, just because I know people are saying Islam is bulked up and he's looking big, whatever. But guys, I'm not gonna lie, Jack Della Maddalena's hands are very good, and people well, especially when it comes to mixed martial arts, people seem to forget everything starts on the feet, and the guys that have the better hands tend to win fights. Like, not in all cases, but when it comes to stand up, yeah, the guys that have the better hands tend to win the fight. The only thing I can see Islam implementing in this fight, in terms of the stand up, that will give him the edge, is incorporating leg kicks. Because I genuinely think if he can incorporate leg kicks and, you know, chew up Jack Della Maddalena's lead leg a bit, then it will stop his movement. It will stop his fluidity. It will stop his rhythm. Because for someone that has what people need to understand, that's why when his coach is talking about Ilia Topuria, I'll be honest, everything Javier Mendez said about Ilia Topuria is correct. You need to stay out of boxing range and add kicks, low kicks. Because if you can take away his legs, you take away all his power, because he can't generate as much power when he's throwing his shots. He can't move as much. He can't move in the way he moves, because Ilya's got a very like boxing heavy style. So that's where I would say Islam needs to, when it comes to the striking, yes, trust in your ability to strike with JDM. I'm not saying don't. But I think the key to slowing Jack down and stopping the boxing is the leg kicks and obviously the wrestling. But if Jack is able to stuff the takedowns, then it's going to be a long night. Because honestly, I don't think... Listen, as much as people are up Islam's bum and, you know, saying he's going to win this without a doubt, Islam hasn't faced anyone with hands. You know what? I saw a comment today or yesterday on one of the posts with JDM and Islam, and someone in the comments said Jack Della Maddalena is a Dustin Poirier, just in a bigger weight class, better skill, just better all round, just Dustin Poirier but a better version. And I have to agree with that, although this fight is going to tell us a lot. Oh, I don't know what happened there. This fight is going to tell us a lot about Jack Della Maddalena's takedown defense. And I'll be honest, if he can't grapple to the level of Islam, he's going to struggle. And he will struggle in certain parts of his career, because in the welterweight division, there is quite a few grapplers. So, if Jack can deal with the wrestling, then boy, the hands, he has the advantage in terms of hands. And look what Dustin was able to do with Islam. He touched him up. He touched up Islam, mate. And I think Jack is just a better and upgraded version of Dustin Poirier. I've even just seen a thing now. I've got the post because I'm in a Telegram group chat, and apparently Dustin Poirier predicts Islam Makhachev will beat Jack Della Maddalena by decision. I'm going to read out what he had to say. I would think Islam by decision, but if Jack does win, I'm not going to be totally blown away if he lands a shot that hurts Islam or a knee or something. Okay, that was just a waste of my time. I don't really care about what Dustin said. But I think if Islam wins this fight, it will be a decision. He's not going to knock out Jack, and I don't think he's going to be able to submit Jack. I feel like Jack's got very long limbs as well. So, you know, in terms of submission threat, I think Jack will do well defending that. That's why I've said in previous videos, if Islam does win, it's going to be because he will do a good job of mixing his striking with the takedowns. Jack needs to do his best to stop that. If he can keep it standing, that's his bread and butter, and he wins this fight, whether it's a TKO or decision. But if he allows Islam to be able to constantly mix it up, take him down, land some strikes on the ground, get control time, and do a little bit of damage, and then he finds his way back to his feet, and Islam does decent with his striking, then Islam is going to win that fight. But if Jack can stop those takedowns and get back up and force it, because there will be periods in this fight where Islam will strike and trade with Jack, and if Jack can keep it there, he's going to piece up Islam, in my honest opinion. That's just me. You guys don't have to agree with it. A lot of different people have got their takes on this fight. And I would go as far to say that this fight is 50-50. And it is 50-50. And you can see by the way people are even talking about this fight and giving their predictions, it is a 50-50 fight. And like I've said in previous videos, guys, you know one thing, yeah? There's both fighters have disadvantages and advantages going into this fight. For example, Jack's disadvantage is that, well, potential disadvantage is that his level of grappling isn't to the level of Islam Makhachev. And then Islam's potential disadvantage is that forget his striking, his boxing is not on the level of Jack Della. Because listen, guys, I'm telling you, the way Jack sets certain things up, Islam has not fought a fighter like that. I promise you. Even the way Dustin Poirier fights, it's like you can't compare the boxing of Dustin to Jack. Like honestly, guys, the way Jack sets things up, Islam is going to fall for some of them tricks. I'm telling you, he will, because clearly Jack has a very, very strong boxing. I don't know if it's a boxing background, but he has a very, very strong boxing base in his mixed martial arts arsenal. So it's a very interesting matchup. It's 50-50, like I said, guys. But like I've already said in my previous prediction video, I'm going with Jack Della Maddalena by decision. Or a round 3 KO. Please, we would love to see, one of these Dagestanis get KO'd. I'm not going to lie. It would. For the timeline, for the Instagram timeline and social media, it will be great. I'm not going to lie. I don't wish anybody to get knocked out or to be hurt badly or whatever. But for the MMA scene, it will do wonders. I can't lie to you. That's just my opinion. Like and subscribe, guys. Comment your thoughts below.